Stars have to collapse under their own gravity to create the elements that make life possible. Without stellar death, there will be no carbon, no oxygen, no you. What if your breakdowns serve the same cosmic purpose? Welcome, beautiful souls, to another journey into the sacred mysteries of existence. I'm here with you today to explore one of the most profound questions that echoes through every human heart. Why do we experience pain? Why do we face setbacks that feel like they might break us? Why do we walk through those dark nights of the soul that seem to stretch on forever? If you're listening to this, chances are you felt the weight of struggle. Maybe you're in it right now. Maybe you're carrying the tender scars of battles fought and somehow survived. Maybe you're wondering if the universe has forgotten you, or worse, if it's actively working against you. I want you to know something sacred right now, before we go any deeper. Your pain is not punishment. Your struggles are not evidence of your unworthiness. Your darkest moments are not cosmic mistakes. Today, we're going to discover why your struggles aren't happening to you. They're happening for you. We're going to explore how the universe uses the same transformational forces that birth stars and diamonds to birth the most magnificent version of you. We're going to understand why your breakdowns are actually breakthroughs in disguise, why your wounds might be your greatest wisdom, and how your healing doesn't just transform you, it transforms the world. This isn't about toxic positivity or spiritual bypassing. This is about seeing the sacred architecture of transformation that runs through everything in existence, from the smallest seed pushing through concrete to the mightiest star forging elements in its fiery heart. You are not separate from these cosmic forces. You are these cosmic forces, experiencing themselves through the beautiful, complex, sometimes painful journey of being human. So settle in, dear one. Let's explore the cosmic purpose behind your pain and discover how your struggles are actually your transformation. Let's begin by looking at how transformation actually works in the universe. Because if we can understand the cosmic method, we can understand why you experience what you experience. Deep beneath the earth, carbon sits in darkness for millions of years. Ordinary carbon, the same element that makes up the graphite in your pencil. But then something extraordinary happens. The earth applies pressure, immense pressure, heat, time, and through this intense process of compression and stress, that ordinary carbon becomes something magnificent. Diamond, the hardest natural substance on earth, beautiful beyond measure, valuable beyond calculation. The carbon didn't become diamond despite the pressure. It became diamond because of the pressure. Now imagine a butterfly trapped in its chrysalis. From the outside, it looks like death. The caterpillar has completely dissolved. Literally, its body is turned to soup. But within that destruction, within that complete breakdown of everything it once was, something miraculous is happening. New structures are forming. Wings are developing. A completely new form of life is emerging. But here's the crucial part. If you were to help that butterfly escape its cocoon, if you cut open the chrysalis to spare it the struggle, you would actually kill it. The struggle to break free is what pushes fluid into its wings, giving it the strength to fly. Without that struggle, the butterfly would emerge weak and unable to survive. The pressure creates the capacity. Your muscles understand this truth intimately. When you exercise, you're literally breaking down muscle fibers, creating micro tears. Your body experiences this as stress, even damage. But then something beautiful happens. Your body doesn't just repair those tears, it builds them back stronger. This is how you grow, through breakdown and renewal, through stress and recovery. The universe operates on this principle at every level. Stars must collapse to create the elements that make life possible. Seeds must crack open in the darkness of soil to become trees. Pressure, breakdown, struggle, these aren't obstacles to transformation. They are the very mechanism of transformation. You are part of this universe, made of the same elements forged in dying stars, governed by the same laws. subject to the same transformational processes. Your pain, your struggles, your periods of breakdown, they're not aberrations. They're the universe's method of composting old versions of yourself to create space for who you're becoming. Let me share a story that illustrates this beautifully. There was a woman named Sarah who built what seemed like the perfect life. Successful career, beautiful home, marriage that looked ideal from the outside. But at 35, everything collapsed within 6 months. She lost her job due to company downsizing. Her marriage ended when she discovered her husband's affair. She had to sell her house and move back in with her parents, feeling like a complete failure. For 2 years, Sarah felt like she was drowning. She questioned everything about herself, her choices, her worth. She called her dark night of the soul, and it felt endless. But during those long nights of sleeplessness and tears, something began to emerge. She started writing, just for herself, just to process her pain. Those raw, honest words became a blog. That blog became a community of thousands of people going through similar struggles. That community became her calling. 5 years later, Sarah runs a nonprofit that helps people navigate major life transitions. She's written 3 books. She's spoken at conferences around the world. But most importantly, she's living from a place of authentic purpose that she never could have accessed before her breakdown. She often says now, "I had to lose everything I thought I wanted to find everything I actually needed." Sarah's collapse wasn't happening to her. It was happening for her. The universe was composting her old identity to make space for her true purpose to emerge. The pressure created the diamond. Let's go deeper into understanding what's really happening when you experience what mystics call the dark night of the soul. This phrase, coined by the 16th century Spanish mystic Saint John of the Cross, describes those periods when everything you relied on seems to fail you, when your old ways of being, your familiar structures, your trusted beliefs no longer work, when you feel lost, abandoned, sometimes even betrayed by life itself. But what if these dark nights aren't evidence of spiritual abandonment? What if they're actually evidence of spiritual birth? Think about physical birth for a moment. The baby spends 9 months in the warm, safe, predictable environment of the womb. Everything is provided. There's no struggle, no uncertainty. But for the baby to truly live, to breathe independently, to grow and thrive, it must leave that comfortable space. Birth requires contraction, pressure, pain, both for the baby and the mother. The contractions that feel like they might tear them apart are actually the very force that brings new life into the world. Your dark nights of the soul work the same way. They're spiritual contractions. The comfortable womb of your old identity, your old ways of being, your old understanding of yourself and the world. It has served its purpose. But for you to be truly born into who you're becoming, you must go through the labor of transformation. Adversity doesn't reveal your weakness. It reveals your true strength. Not the kind of strength you thought you had, but the kind you actually possess. The strength that comes not from never falling, but from always getting back up. The strength that comes not from avoiding darkness, but from learning to carry your own light through it. Every person who has ever made a significant contribution to healing the world has this in common. They've walked through fire and emerged carrying medicine. They've transformed their wounds into wisdom, their mess into their message, their test into their testimony. But here's what's truly sacred about pain. It's never just personal. When you heal for everyone who will come after you walking that same path. When you transform your wounds into wisdom, you're creating a pathway that others can follow. Your healing becomes a gift to the collective human experience. Pain is the universe's way of making you into a wounded healer. Someone who can sit with others in their darkness because you've learned to navigate your own. Someone who can offer hope because you found it in hopeless places. Someone who can guide others home to themselves because you've made that journey. Let me tell you about Marcus, a man who lost his teenage son in a car accident. The grief nearly destroyed him. For 3 years, he could barely function. He quit his job and his marriage, isolated himself from everyone who cared about him. He spent most days in his son's room, surrounded by memories, drowning in what felt like endless sorrow. But slowly, through grief counseling and support groups, Marcus began to understand something profound. His pain had made him fluent in a language that many parents needed to hear. He could sit with newly grieving parents in a way that no one else could. He understood their rage, their guilt, their desperate bargaining with God. He could offer them something precious, proof that you can survive the unsurvivable. Marcus now runs a support organization for parents who've lost children. He's walked hundreds of families through their darkest hours. He often says, "I wouldn't wish this pain on anyone, but I also can't imagine a more important reason to be alive than to help other parents find their way through this darkness." Marcus's pain found its purpose. His wound became his calling. His greatest loss became his greatest gift to the world. Your pain works the same way. It's making you into exactly the person someone else needs you to be. It's developing in you the exact qualities, insights, and compassion that the world is waiting for. The universe isn't giving you random suffering. It's giving you specific preparation for your sacred work. The gifts are always hidden in your greatest struggles. The wisdom is always buried in your deepest wounds. The calling is always connected to your greatest challenges. Your pain isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature. It's preparing you for a purpose that could only emerge through the transformation that pain makes possible. Now I want to share with you perhaps the most profound reframe of all. You are not a separate being having experiences. You are the universe experiencing itself through the lens of your individual consciousness. Every joy you feel, every pain you experience, every lesson you learn, this is a cosmos learning, growing, evolving through you. This isn't metaphor. This is physics. The atoms in your body were forged in the nuclear furnaces of ancient stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all of it came from stellar death and rebirth. You are literally made of star stuff. You are the universe that has become conscious of itself. When you heal, you're not just healing your individual wounds. You're healing the collective wound that runs through all of humanity. When you transform your pain into wisdom, you're adding to the sum total of human understanding. When you choose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, hope over despair, you're literally upgrading the consciousness of the planet. This is cosmic alchemy. The transformation of base metal into gold. The transformation of suffering into service. Wounds into wisdom. Pain into purpose. You're not just living your life. You're participating in the universe's evolution toward greater love, greater consciousness, greater wholeness. Every challenge you face is a universe upgrading itself through you. That job loss that devastated you, the universe learning about resilience and reinvention. That heartbreak that nearly broke you, the cosmos discovering the depths of love and the strength that comes from vulnerability. That illness that terrified you, the universe exploring the preciousness of health and the power of healing. Nothing is happening to you. Everything is happening for you, not just for your personal growth, but for the evolution of consciousness itself. There's an ancient concept in many wisdom traditions called the wounded healer. It recognizes that those who've been broken and found ways to heal possess a unique gift. They can guide others through similar darkness. The Greek myth tells us that Chiron, the wisest of the centaurs, was wounded by an arrow that could never heal. But it was precisely this unhealable wound that gave him his gift for healing others. This is your cosmic role. Your wounds weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to hollow you out, so you could become a vessel for healing others. Your breakdowns weren't meant to break you. They were meant to break you open so your light could shine through the cracks. Think about the people who most influence your life, who've offered you the deepest wisdom, who've shown you what's possible even in dark times. I'm willing to bet they weren't the ones who had easy lives. They were the ones who had been through something and emerged with medicine. They were the ones who had transformed their mess into their message. You're being prepared for the sacred work, whether you know it or not. Every challenge you overcome increases your capacity to help others overcome similar challenges. Every wound you heal becomes a pathway you can show others. Every time you choose to grow rather than harden, love rather than hate, trust rather than despair, you're becoming more the medicine the world needs. But here's the most beautiful reframe of all. What if nothing has ever been wrong? What if every experience, even the painful ones, has been exactly what was needed for your soul's evolution and your service to the whole? What if the universe hasn't been testing you, but trusting you with the exact experiences you needed to become who you're meant to be? What if instead of asking, why is this happening to me, we started asking, how is this happening for me? What is this experience making possible? What gift is hidden here? How is this preparing me to serve? When we shift from victimhood to purpose, from why me to why not me, everything changes. We stop being at the mercy of our circumstances and start being the alchemists of our experience. We stop being casualties of life and start being contributors to the cosmic evolution of consciousness. You are not here by accident. Your experiences are not random. Your pain has purpose, your struggles have meaning, and your healing has cosmic significance. You are the universe healing itself through your willingness to transform wounds into wisdom, trauma into teaching, mess into medicine. Now let's take this cosmic understanding and make it practical. How do you actually live from this awareness? How do you transform your relationship with struggle and pain? How do you begin to see your challenges as the universe's method of preparing you for your sacred work? Let's start with reflection. I want you to consider this question. What gift is hidden in your greatest challenge? Not the challenge you think you should talk about, but the one that makes your stomach tighten when you think about it. The one that changed you. The one that broke you open. Maybe it was a loss that seemed unbearable. Maybe it was a failure that felt like it defined you. Maybe it was a betrayal that shattered your trust. Maybe it was an illness that threatened everything you thought you knew about your body and your future. Sit with that experience for a moment, not to wallow in it, but to honor it, to see it clearly. Now ask yourself, how did this experience change you? What qualities did it develop in you that weren't there before? What understanding did it give you that you wouldn't have had otherwise? What compassion did it open in your heart? What strength did it reveal that you didn't know you possessed? Maybe it taught you that you're more resilient than you thought. Maybe it showed you what truly matters when everything else is stripped away. Maybe it gave you empathy for others walking similar paths. Maybe it connected you to a spiritual strength you never knew you had. Maybe it revealed gifts and talents that only emerged under pressure. The gift is always there. Sometimes it takes time to see it. Sometimes it takes distance. But it's always there. Now I want you to try an exercise that might feel challenging, but can be profoundly healing. Write a letter of gratitude to your past struggle. This isn't about being grateful that painful things happened. This is about being grateful for who you became because of how you chose to respond to what happened. This is about thanking your struggle for the gifts it brought, the wisdom it created, the strength it revealed, the person it helped you become. Your letter might start like this. Dear, name your struggle. I never thought I'd say this, but I want to thank you, not for the pain you caused, but for what you made possible. Because of you, I learned. Because of you, I became. Because of you, I can now help others by. Write from your heart. Write the truth of how your wounds became your wisdom. Write about the person you are now that couldn't have existed without walking through that fire. Write about the compassion, the strength, the understanding that emerged from the ashes of who you used to be. Next, Let's practice the most powerful reframe I know. Instead of "this is happening to me," start saying "this is happening for me," not just once, but as a practice. Every time you catch yourself in victim consciousness, every time you feel like life is working against you, pause and ask, how might this be happening for me? What is this making possible? What is this preparing me for? This isn't about denying pain or pretending everything is wonderful. This is about recognizing that you live in a universe that's ultimately on your side, a universe that's always seeking to evolve you toward your highest potential, a universe that gives you exactly the experiences you need to become exactly who you're meant to be. Finally, here's your integration challenge. Find one person to help based on what you've overcome. Look around your life. Who is walking through something similar to what you've experienced? Who could benefit from your hard-won wisdom? Who needs to hear from someone who's been where they are and made it through? Maybe it's a friend going through a divorce, and you've learned how to rebuild after your marriage ended. Maybe it's a colleague facing a career crisis, and you've navigated the uncertainty of professional reinvention. Maybe it's someone struggling with loss, and you've learned how to carry grief while still choosing life. Reach out, share your story, offer your presence. Let your wounds become medicine for someone else. This is how your pain finds its purpose. This is how your healing heals the world. This is how you become the wounded healer you were always meant to be. Remember, your struggles weren't just preparing you to survive. They were preparing you to serve. Your healing wasn't just for you. It was for everyone who will come after you walking that same path. Your transformation contributes to the transformation of the whole. When you help someone else navigate what you've already walked through, something magical happens. You complete the circle. Your pain finds its ultimate purpose. Your wound becomes a source of healing not just for you, but for the world. You step into your role as a cosmic alchemist, transforming base metal into gold, suffering into service, breakdown into breakthrough. This is sacred work. This is why you went through what you went through. This is how the universe heals itself. Through beings like you who are willing to transform their wounds into wisdom and offer that wisdom to others who need it. Take a moment right now to think of someone specific, someone you could reach out to, someone who could benefit from knowing they're not alone, from hearing how you found your way through. Your vulnerability becomes their hope. Your healing becomes their possibility. Your transformation becomes their permission to believe that they too can alchemize their pain into purpose. This isn't just about helping others. This is about completing your own healing. Because when you can take your greatest wound and use it to heal someone else, you discover the deepest truth of all. Nothing you've been through is wasted. Every tear, every dark night, every moment you want to give up, it all had meaning. It was all preparing you for this moment when you could reach back and help someone else through. You become living proof that pain can be transformed, that wounds can become wisdom, that the broken places can become the most beautiful parts of who you are. You become evidence that the universe is ultimately benevolent, that consciousness is always seeking to heal and evolve, that love is a final word on every story, even the ones that seem to end in darkness. As we close today's journey together, I want to leave you with this mantra. Let it sink into your bones. Let it rewire your relationship with struggle. Let it remind you of your cosmic purpose. My struggles are my transformation. Say it with me. My struggles are my transformation, not my punishment, not my failure, not evidence that I'm doing something wrong. My struggles are my transformation. They are the universe's method of composting, who I was to create space for who I'm becoming. They are the pressure that's creating the diamond. They are the dark night that's preparing me for a more beautiful dawn. Every time you face a challenge from now on, remember, you are not being tested by a cruel universe. You are being trusted by a loving cosmos with exactly the experience you need for your soul's evolution and your service to the world. Your pain has purpose. Your struggles have meaning. Your healing has cosmic significance. Next episode, we're going to explore an equally profound truth: why you have the exact gifts the universe needs. We'll discover how your unique combination of talents, experiences, and perspectives isn't random. It's exactly what's needed to heal a specific part of the world. We'll explore how your gifts, especially the ones that feel most natural and effortless to you, are actually cosmic assignments. Don't miss it. Until then, carry this knowing with you. Your pain is not pointless. It's purposeful. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are an alchemist of your experience. You are not separate from the healing the world needs. You are the healing the world needs, shaped by your struggles into exactly the medicine someone is waiting for. Go well, beautiful soul. The universe is conspiring in your favor, always.